Hey, it's Javen here from Postal Barbecue, and today on the grill, we're cooking up a herb-crusted pork loin. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna put the full recipe for you in the description box below, so make sure to click down there for everything that you need for this cook. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get cooking. So to get started with this recipe, you're going to need, first of all, a pork loin roast. That's what this is here. Then to make our herb crusting, you're going to need some herbs, of course. And so we're going to use some thyme, some rosemary. We're going to need about 6 cloves of garlic. Then we're going to need some oil, some salt, and lastly some pepper. And then optional, what we're going to be using today is a wood grilling plank. This is a red oak from our friends over at Wildwood Grilling. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our thyme and just take off the leaves here. And we're just trying to avoid some of the stems because they're a little bit tough and we don't really want to be eating them. So once we have about a handful of thyme, we're going to go ahead and place it on the cutting board and begin chopping it up. And this is going to just allow the juices and the oils within the thyme to just be released, adding to that flavor profile that we're looking for. After we've got the thyme all done, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the rosemary. What we're doing to get this off, so we're just taking each stem and just pulling it. Again, so once you have about a handful of rosemary, you're just going to take your knife and begin chopping that as well. Again, this is just to release some of the oils that are within the leaves here. Put it in the bowl with the thyme and move on to the garlic. We're going to need about 6 cloves and add as many as you need. We like ours a little bit more garlicky. So you're going to take your garlic and you're just going to smash it down using the back of your knife. If you do have a garlic press, feel free to use that. But we're just going to press it down, squish it up, and slice it down. Again, for the garlic, make sure to adapt it to your taste. If you like it less garlicky, then use less cloves. So now in the bowl we have our thyme, our rosemary, and our garlic. And then we're going to take a little bit of black pepper and just grind that in. So in there we put about half a teaspoon of black pepper, and then we're actually going to save our salt for the very end. Just before we put it on the grill, we're going to put some fresh salt onto the outside of this pork loin. So now that's all together, we're just going to go ahead and mix it up. And the last thing that we need to add to this is some oil. And this is what's going to help bind it to our pork loin. And we're not really going to measure the amount of oil, we're just going to go for a consistency with this one. So after we got our herb mixture together, we're just going to take a spoon and we're going to place it on top of our pork loin. Just begin to rub it all around. We are going to be doing all sides with this, so make sure you save a little bit for that back side. Just go in and rub it around. So once we have our herb mixture onto our pork loin, we're going to go ahead and place it into the fridge for about 1 hour until we get our wood plank all soaked up. So just like always, these wood planks need to soak for an hour, so we're going to place that into some water. So our roast has now been in the fridge for an hour and we just pulled it out. Also, we forgot to add our basil into the mixture, and so we went ahead and chopped up some basil nice and fine, fresh from the garden, and topped it on top of that pork loin as well. We're gonna place some of our salt onto this loin, and so we're just gonna give a nice generous coating of kosher salt onto the outside. Now that's done, we're gonna go ahead and light our pit barrel and get cooking. So today we're going to be using our pit barrel cooker to cook this pork loin, and we're going to fill it up with just one small chimney starter full of unlit briquettes down in the barrel. Then we're going to load up a second small basket with some royal oak charcoal here. So the first thing that we're going to do is take our wood that we've been soaking for a while and place that right in the middle. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our pork roast, and it's a little bit wider than the board, so we're just going to help tuck it in a little bit. And we want to make sure that that pork loin is onto the entirety of the surface of the plank. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our ThermoWorks smoke, and we're just going to probe the internal temperature of this roast so we know exactly what the temperature is as we cook. Once the pork loin is on the grill, we're going to place our rods back into the barrel, close the lid, and begin cooking this around 350 degrees for about an hour and 20, an hour and 30 minutes. And the way that we're going to be doing this on the pit barrel is by opening up the bottom vent a little bit more and cracking the lid if we need to. So this pork loin has been cooking for about an hour and a half at 350 degrees, and our smoke thermometer is saying that it reached 145 degrees. So we're going to open up the grill and take a quick peek, do some tests in a couple different areas to make sure that it's up to temperature before we remove it off the grill and let it rest for about 20 minutes before we begin slicing into it and enjoying. So this herb crusted pork loin is all done. It's super tender, it smells delicious, and I just can't wait to bite into it. So here we go. Oh man. All those herbs, the garlic, you can taste everything. It's so good. I gotta turn this off so I can eat this. Is that good? So that's how you make that delicious herb crusted pork loin. You're gonna love it, I know it for sure. Make sure to leave me a comment below on how it turned out for you, as well as if you have any recipe ideas, also leave them down there. Also like, comment, subscribe to the channel for great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. Don't forget to share the video, and we'll see you next time.